This is Nick Lowry at Windsong Dojo. Damon Cornelia here is helping me out. We're going to be looking at piece by piece the sections of the walking kata. This particular form of walking kata that we do is an older form. It relates to the Tomiki system when it was functioning around toshu randori or hand randori ideas. It is a style of walking that integrates some judo movement in the way that the use of the feet happen. And it is a form of walking that is fairly unique in our particular system and style, our lineage of Tomiki aikido. When you look to historical precedents, you go back to probably some film work you can find on the web of Senta Yamada, and this probably filmed back in the 60s is the closest example of something like what we're doing. This also carries some influence from Sensei Miyake, and her Tai Chi influence gets in here as well, I believe. So we'll start with the first section, which is the Ansoku, which is the footwork. And this section primarily deals with evasion, movement of the center and evasion. To begin with, Damon will stand here in the big X. There we go. So we have a clear view of the lines that he's moving down. And we want to make sure that before we even begin that we start with the weight on the balls of the feet, right here behind the big toe area. Want to make sure the knees are slightly bent. Want to make sure the posture is erect. The chest is open. Shoulders relaxed. The head is up. The arms are relaxed at the side like this. Not holding a lot of tension, not holding a stiff pose of any kind, but just moving in a relaxed way. The postural elements we're looking for is the hips coming slightly forward, the torso erect with the chest open, and the head up. If he turns to the side, when you see somebody and the bottom of their posture or their hip posture buckles back, the chest closes and falls forward, and the head will either dip all the way down or rock all the way back in the extreme, trying to deal with the posture as it gets more and more extreme. We'd like to maintain a nice, stable, erect posture that's in harmony with gravity and that allows your movement to come largely from or be driven from the center of gravity right here. The center of gravity is 2 to 3 inches just below the navel and within the body in an upright standing posture. And the center of gravity is really what we're moving first as we get into motion in the walk. So learning to move from the center of gravity rather than motivate from one foot and then to another on sort of a tick-tocky way is a big part of walking. So as Damon's standing here, the first move of the walk is going to have a diagonal stepping action, and that's basically an evasion. If the blue line that's cutting through him in the middle here would be like a line of attack, his first action is to step with the left foot and slide it out, letting his center drop and his right foot follow up. And you notice his feet come very close to even. He keeps the weight on the balls of his feet, his knees slightly bent, and then he steps back on that same diagonal to where he came from. Then he takes another step back to the back diagonal, back to center. Then we do the same thing to the right. Very nice. And back again. Now one more time, I'd like to have Damon go ahead and start in the middle. And as he does so, every time the body goes into a walking action, it's going to make a rise and fall, or a fall and a rise. Normal human walking tends to kick us up into the air into a rise, and then we fall down into it. Kick us up into a rise, then we fall down into it. But what we're trying to replicate in this style of walking is to fall directly into the step. So if he were to exaggerate this and take a very big step, you'd see his center of gravity dip down and then rise up. You see his head bob up and down. So we don't want to take too large a step. We really just want to keep it within the confines of the width of your own shoulder for the size of step. Go on back. So that we're trying to minimize that bobbing up and down. It's still happening, but the other effect that he can do to minimize it is to keep a little bend in his knees and to mediate the rise and fall as he takes that step. So as to one teacher, Kitty Sullivan, likes to say, it's as if the whole room is filled with water right up to your nostrils, and you just can't afford to let your nostrils go underwater, okay? So you're kind of buoyant feeling. You're having that falling step. There you go. And you're trying to keep it as flat as you can. Go ahead. Back. There you go. Nice and flat. Very flat. Good. And then to the other side. Good. Good. Yes. Nice postural elements there.